Alrighty, welcome to today's edition of Eggs and Issues. And behind us we have the fine ladies from the Mahaska Chamber and Development Office and Main Street. We'll get down to what events are coming on, what kind of questions that you guys have for them. So make sure you send them in because Andy and Allison McGuire are helping to sort those questions and send them our way. We'd also really like to thank the Mahaska Chamber for helping make Eggs and Issues possible this year. Penn Central Mall, KIIC, for the fabulous space that we have here. And without further ado, we'll get to pressing questions. If you guys want to, go ahead and introduce yourselves to the audience, and we'll get going forward.
Well, I'm Deanne DeGroat, and I am the director of the Mahaska Chamber and Development Group. I've been in this role now for a year, but been at the Chamber for coming on 10 years here this summer, which I guess to say time flies when you're having fun. So it's been a good year, and we have lots of exciting things coming up for this summer. So we're looking forward to your questions.
And I'm Jessica Ryder. I am the Oskaloosa Main Street Director. I started this past July, but I grew up in Oskaloosa. This is my hometown, so I'm happy to be here and really excited for this summer's events and everything that we have coming.
All right, ladies. Well, we'll get into the questions because folks are at home and they're watching and they've already been submitting. So the first one is a person could be unfamiliar with what you guys do and your roles. Can you tell us briefly about what each organization does and how they work together?
Yeah, so I'll start with the Chamber side of things. We actually did a full merge here in January of 2020. And so our office houses Oskaloosa Main Street and Ag and Rural Development as well, kind of under our umbrella organization, the Mahaska Chamber and Development Group. So the Chamber has 4 focus areas: housing, workforce, economic development, and tourism. And those are kind of our 4 initiatives that we focus on with our committees. And of course, we do a lot of quality of life things as well. And that includes many of our downtown events. So that's just kind of the overall initiatives that we're working on throughout the year. And we can go more in depth on what each of those committees and things are working on currently.
And Oskaloosa Main Street it's an organization under Mahaska Chamber, and we focus on the downtown district here in Oski. Oskaloosa was first designated as a Main Street community in 1986, so it is one of the oldest, I believe the 3rd oldest here in Iowa, and now it's one of more than 50 Main Street communities in Iowa and more than 1,000 across the United States. So we're part of a national program that does work to historic preservation downtown revitalization, making the downtown area a great place to have your business, to dine and shop, and to put on the great community events. Our focus areas are organization, design, promotion, and economic vitality. And we work with the Chamber to support downtown businesses, put on events, as well as keep our downtown beautiful and preserve the beautiful old buildings.
All right, Jessica, you can hold on to that microphone because we have a question specifically for you. It says, Jessica, you're coming up on your first year as Main Street Director. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience and what it's like coming back to be a Main Street Director in your hometown?
Well, first, it's a huge honor to get to do this job in my hometown. In my past jobs, I've worked in tourism and marketing and small town placemaking. So I was really interested in the Main Street, network. I didn't possibly predict that I would get to step into that role in my hometown. So happy to be back, but it was definitely an unusual and challenging year to make that change. As you know, all the events that we did last year were either canceled or modified. So it was different. It's been difficult to meet people in person, but I feel like we're all seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, and we're moving forward with planning our events, which is very exciting. So it feels like the first year is a lot of, learning things that I'll probably have to relearn this year, but that's okay because we have a great community and a great network, and I think we're close to getting back to some of those traditions that we really missed last year.
All right. Well, we have one that's asking about the outdoor events, but I think we'll get to that one here shortly. And another question came in. It says, during the eggs and issues with the mayor and county supervisor, they mentioned the three-way partnership between the city, county, and the chamber towards a certified site. Can you tell us about the project, what a certified site is, and why is it important?
Yes, so the certified site project is most definitely a partnership between the city, Mahaska County, City of Oskaloosa, Mahaska County, and then the chamber. Certified site is a designation through IEDA, and so we're looking at some ground around the current industrial park east of town that we are looking to hopefully get that site certification. We're hoping to apply here in July. So talking with landowners currently and going through the steps that would take to get that certified. So that is one of the projects under our business development committee. We're working every day on that project.
And so a certified site would be for business development. Is it mostly manufacturing? What kind of things would land on a certified site?
Yep, so that's, kind of open, can be outlined in the application, but yes, it would be near the current industrial park, so, it could be warehouse, other large businesses that are looking to, maybe move to Iowa, and specifically, we're hoping Mahaska County. So, again, the state would be, if certified, it would go on the state's website, which helps us then market that area, and they're marketing only those certified sites within the state of Iowa. So that would be the benefit of becoming a certified site here in Mahaska County.
All right. And another question came in that says, can you share any other projects from the Chamber Focus Committee? So I think that's an inside source sending that one in. So,
Yep.
Well,
Yep, I will get my notes here. So again, through the Chamber's 4 committees, and then I'll let Jess talk about the Main Street committees. Business development, some of our main projects, like we just talked about, the certified site. We also have the Revolving Loan Fund program. So that is a loan for ag and industry type businesses. If they're expanding or looking for equipment, they can apply for a low interest loan through our organization, and then ultimately it goes through the county. So we do have to take that to a supervisor's meeting. But we do have quite a bit of funds in that account right now. So if there are businesses watching or interested in that program, give us a call and we can talk about the application and the process of that loan. Other projects and initiatives, we're always trying to keep our sites and buildings updated on our LOIS system. So if there are other communities or businesses looking to move here, they can see what's available in Mahaska County. Tourism, we have several different initiatives going on with tourism. Sherry Vavra is the chair of our tourism committee. We have invited several bloggers to come to Mahaska County this year. So that's kind of a new initiative this past year that we started. And so we sent out some letters to 6 different bloggers, and actually 5 of them have responded to come. And so our first one is actually coming the end of this month. And then we have one in May and June, and we have invited one for the fall and to see the lights for Christmas time as well. So that's exciting that we had some great response to those bloggers coming, and then hopefully we'll be sharing what their experiences here in Mahaska County to get more traction for travelers to come and visit. We also, one of the newer initiatives is our Explore Mahaska Guide. So hopefully you've seen that little publication on maybe different tabletops around the community. But this guide has been produced for many years, but we actually changed it up quite a bit this year. So I'm very excited about that. We have some kind of feel-good stories in there, focusing on our play, stay, enjoy, live, and grow categories. So those stories, feature stories, will change every year. This has been a every other year publication, but we're going to change that to every year going forward, just so that we can make that content more relevant to what's happening in the community. So those got sent out to all the welcome centers in Iowa, and then for our businesses to use for recruiting. So it's really for our locals, because we have so many hidden gems in Mahaska County. So for our locals and for visitors that are coming in. So those are a few of the tourism initiatives. As far as workforce goes, we have done quite a bit of regional work, and one of those is our Iowa South initiative. So the state put out a publication, This is Iowa, for talent attraction. This was a new publication that they put out. And then inside there is in the middle of the book, it's a little insert. And so this smaller insert we grabbed, and that was a regional project that we did to specifically attract workers to Southeast Iowa. And so it's called Iowa South, and so that was kind of a 2020 initiative that we worked on. So that was exciting. We're also working on a community video. Noel Staley is our chair of the Workforce Committee, and so we're working with them on Manufacturing Day that has happened at William Penn in the past. We're talking about career fairs and job fairs going forward, as we know those are important to our local industries. And then on the housing side of things, Wendell Campbell chairs our housing committee, and we have several different initiatives going on with that. The main one is our senior housing study. And so we recently put out some RFPs for the senior housing study, and so the committee is going to be reviewing those to see what company we want to go with, and then hopefully increase the housing efforts here going forward. As we hear that a lot from our industries and we do visits, that we need more housing. So those are a few of the efforts on the chamber side.
And over on Main Street, we have our 4-point committees. We follow the same 4-point approach that other Main Streets follow throughout the United States, starting with organization. That committee and focus point really serves to make sure that we're a strong organization by building strong support in both public and private sectors. So that's where we do our fundraising for Main Street. That's where we recruit volunteers and just make sure that we're, a healthy operating organization. Our promotion committee and focus point addresses the social value of Main Street, attracting people to our downtown to shop and dine, showing off what makes our downtown unique, and just promoting our image and what makes downtown Oskaloosa special. One of the projects that our promotions committee completed last fall and winter was the Mahaska Wish Book, which was a shopping guide around the holidays to encourage shopping local. We did a smaller Valentine's Day shopping guide as well. And our promotions committee also works on events like Art on the Square. Our design committee and focus point focuses on the physical value of downtown and the appearance. So everything from beautification and projects could include things like the planters with the historic photos on them, as well as connecting our downtown building owners with resources and grant opportunities to preserve their historic buildings. And one of the things we're looking to do this year is to really promote the historic preservation that has gone on in downtown Oskaloosa, as well as highlight the historic markers that the research has been put together for. And our economic vitality committee and focus point addresses the economic value of Main Street. So we serve to help our downtown businesses grow and expand, as well as recruit new businesses to downtown. One of the things we just finished working on was the Main Street Open for Business grant competition. Our local candidate this year is Jen Thomas Maxwell over at Salvage Designs. So we just completed and submitted her grant application to the state contest, and now we're waiting to hear if she goes to regionals, and then eventually possibly to the state contest. Businesses who apply for the Open for Business competition can win up to $28,000 to put toward growing their downtown business.
All right. Well, before we get to the downtown events, and I do have that graphic ready for you gals if when we get there, I really wanted to touch on the chamber and all of the staff's response, particularly this past year towards COVID and keeping Oskaloosa vibrant and those businesses still on downtown in our community. I know that you gals and guys there worked pretty hard this past year to help businesses out. Can we talk a little bit about those initiatives and the things that you guys worked on this past year?
Yeah, so I think one of the first things that we put out was the local small business grant. We had a donation around $62,000 that we were able to gift to 36 small businesses in Mahaska County. So putting together kind of that application, of course, we wanted to make it simple for businesses to apply. So, getting the application together and then getting it out to our businesses to apply, that was one of the first things that we did for our local businesses. And then, of course, making sure our website was up to date with information that the state was putting out there, and then any other local information. I know specifically our restaurant guide was used quite a bit just to make sure that we could try and stay up with, what restaurants were doing as far as carry out and delivery and, just times that they were changing every week. And so that was a few of the efforts that we did. There's still a lot of funding that's out there. And so one of the projects that continues is one that, again, we did regionally. This one was through Area 15 down in Ottumwa, and it is our digital assistance grant. And so currently we have 4 or 5 businesses that actually have completed projects with that grant, and a little over $8,000 that's been, I guess, what we've gotten from that grant dollars. But Salvage Design, North Creek Antiques, Silver Elements, Busy Bee Daycare are a few of the completed projects, and I know we have like 11 other businesses on that list, but they're getting help with website, if they want help with their social media or professional photos for their website, anything that kind of enhances their online presence, we can help them with that. And so that grant is actually still available. We have until next June, June of 2022, until those funds run out. And so if there are businesses out there, again, that are looking for help in that area, whether it be professional photos or just enhancing their website online or social media help or Google AdWords, we can certainly get them connected with the right people and get them signed up for those grant dollars. And again, yesterday, Lieutenant Governor Adam Gregg was here. And again, the photo box that we received is some funding from SBDC, but that is just another area that we'll be able to help businesses. Hopefully, Jess mentioned the wish book that she did, and we think this would be a great tool going forward that we can use not only for some of our pieces, but again, businesses can check out this photo box from our office, use it when they need to, and then return it. And so hopefully it will just kind of bounce around businesses in Mahaska County. So those are a few of the efforts that took place, I guess, this past year.
All right. Well, we have a question from Peter, and he asks, what can we do to beautify 92 as one enters town from the west? Could rows of trees be planted to at least create some formality and some more welcoming feeling? Most tourists would be coming from Des Moines, wouldn't they? That was the question.
Yep. So, probably first step is working with Iowa DOT. We've done some, billboard beautification here within the last couple of years out by Westlake when you come from Pella into Oskaloosa. And so we hope to see more of that, coming forth in the next couple of years. We've talked about some different signage and updating that. Of course, it just takes time and money. And so, yes, hopefully we'll see some beautification along kind of the corridors of the community. I think that is something we all want to see. It just, we just have to get the right people at the table and the right minds to get that done. So, we do hope to have more, I guess, cleaning crews out this coming year. Last year, we didn't have as many groups volunteer necessarily to clean up some of those corridors, but we have high school students already lined up on, I think, May 7, coming out to clean some of our alleys, and then they usually kind of hit some of those main corridors to pick up some trash. I know usually we have some businesses that reach out to us and want to have their employees come out and about, so we have some of that ramping up already. So hopefully, again, we'll get back to a little bit normal year.
All right. So there's another question here, and it's towards Deanne. Before you were the chamber director, you served as the director of MCARD. Could you tell us about that and how the chamber works out in the surrounding communities?
Yes, so within the 10 years, I started as office manager, and then shortly after that, took over Miranda Johnson's position as Ag and Rural Development Director. So that position continues on. We still have our board for Mahaska County Ag and Rural Development and working in the smaller cities. Really helping them, again, with any resources that they may need, just making the connections for them, helping them write grants for some of their projects. And then again, the revolving loan fund sometimes hits some of our smaller communities. Some of our current applications are in those smaller communities. So I guess just more recently here, we did do a grant for the Eddyville Pocket Park. That was a $10,000 grant that we applied for through Cargill. And so that's just, again, one way that we're helping them kind of beautify their community. So that grant with the Mahaska Community Foundation grant, we did a grant for the Deerelect building. They have a building downtown there that's falling apart, and so they're going to look at taking that down if we get the DNR grant approved. But the MCCF grant did approve that one, so that was a $20,000 grant. So again, just helping them with those applications and beautifying their communities, because we know, if their community is thriving, the neighboring town is thriving as well. So just helping each other. So we certainly, with our name change as well, the Mahaska Chamber, we are servicing the entire Mahaska County and helping all those cities.
All right. Well, pardon me. It's a rainy day, and my throat's arguing with me about it. So anyway, let's get to those outdoor activities, and I'm going to put the schedule of
From 4:30 to 7:30. The cost for that event is $10 or $15 a day of. You're going to get a wine glass and a wine bag. There's going to be drawing for prizes. You go around to the downtown businesses that are participating and just have a great time. So that event, again, is on April 22, and we're just helping them promote that event for the community. So that will be kind of the kickoff to events this summer. And I'll let Jess talk about the next one.
So also, shortly after that, on April 30th and May 1st, from 9 to 5, both of those days, it's a Friday and Saturday, Mahaska County is participating in the Great Iowa Road Trip. This is a partnership with Iowa State Outreach and Extension Office and their tourism department, as well as with Marion County and Jasper County. So we have 12 stops in Mahaska County on that map. It's just a self-guided road trip throughout our 3 counties, highlighting the unique places, attractions, shops, restaurants. There's a little bit of something for everyone on that map. You can check it out if you just look up Great Iowa Road Trip on Facebook. The event is called the Great Iowa Road Trip Southern Iowa Edition. And if you go around to a certain number of stops, you'll get your map punched at those places of business and be entered to win several drawings for $100 in chamber bucks to the different county chambers.
I'll talk about one of our first events with the Chamber coming up is our golf tournament. So that will take place this year at Edmonton Golf Course. We'll be there. It's on a Friday, May 14. So looking forward to that event. Teams can still sign up for that event through May 1st. So that will be one of our first events, followed by our Friday After 5 series, which will be on June 4, June 11, and August 6. So on June 4, we have Brittany Sword opening up. So kind of a new feature this year. We're going to have kind of a emerging artists or emerging musicians start from 5 to 6, and then from 6 to 9 will be the main act. So Brittany Sword is going to open up on June 4, followed by the Cardinal Sound. And of course, everyone cares about, the food. That's kind of the main thing, right? So we have quite a few of our food vendors already signed up. So Grubby's Kettle Corn, Rob's Mini Donuts, Snowbiz, Mr. Taco, Taco Jalisco, The Salty Hog, and Barnyard Tenderloin Express are a few of the items you can get downtown on those Friday nights. So come out and enjoy those events. On June 11, we'll have the opening musician will be 953, and then the featuring artist is Journey's End. And on August 6th, it's going to be opening with Bonnabelle and the Boys. So some of the activities are kind of still pending yet as far as what there might be, with a few kids' activities that they've had in the past. So we're still working through that, but you can certainly come down and enjoy the band and the food and drinks those evenings.
And
So those dates again for Friday After 5 are May
Yes.
14th, June 4th, and August 6th. Though there is not a Friday After 5 in July, correct?
Right. Yep. June 4, June 11, August 6. So there's quite a few events happening in July, not necessarily just from the chamber, but with some of the other organizations. And so we did 2 in June this year and then the one in August.
All right, so 2 in June, June 4, June 11, and August 6th. All right. Just wanted to make sure because people do look forward to those.
And on June 12th, we're having our 52nd annual Art on the Square. That'll take place Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. And we're really excited. We've already just approved our first round of early bird artists, but there's still time to apply if you're an artist or you know one. We're introducing some new activities and experiences this year, so stay tuned for more news on those. But one specifically that I'd like to share is we're introducing an emerging artist space. So this will be for artists who are participating in Art on the Square for the first time. Maybe they haven't been around to a lot of art shows and invested in their own tent and table and supplies to display their artwork. So we're working together to offer a space for those emerging artists to get started at Art on the Square and art shows in general by offering them support in some shared display materials, a shared space with other emerging artists, as well as things like, if you don't have an Iowa sales tax number, how do you get that? We at the office can certainly help guide you through that type of paperwork. Our early bird deadline just passed, but the emerging artist early bird deadline is coming up April 16th. And then our final deadline for all artists, emerging and regular, will be May 7th. So there's still time to apply, and we'd love to have you down on the square. It's one of Iowa's longest running art shows, so it's a great tradition, and we're really excited for everything we have planned this year.
Christmas in July?
Christmas in July will be July 10th. It's also a Saturday. There's a lot going on that weekend. There will be ridiculous days, a pop-up vendor show in the alley, and we're focusing this year. We'll be announcing the plans shortly, so follow us on Facebook for updates. But we're just really revving up the family-friendly side of this event so that families can come down to the square. There will be plenty for kids to do throughout the day. And yeah, we're really excited for the plans that we'll be sharing about Christmas in July. And Sweet Corn Serenade will be following on July 29th. So, last year we were very, grateful to be able to move forward with that event in a modified way with the drive-through, but we're planning on going back to the normal Sweet Corn Serenade this year. It'll be July 29th from noon to 9 p.m. We have craft and vendor show registration and food vendor registration up on our website at mahaskachamber.org. Yeah, there will be food trucks, children's activities, everyone's favorite sweet corn and burgers. And we're also really excited to share that we applied for a grant through the Mahaska County Community Foundation for a new corn cooker, and that was approved. So you may not know, but in the past few years, we haven't, there have been some issues with if the corn cooker was going to work. It had been used, for so long and was, starting to be in need of repairs, and as of last year was really in need of replacement. So thanks to MCCF, we're going to be able to get a brand new one so that we can continue Sweet Corn Serenade for hopefully another more than 30 years.
I was going to say that particular cooker was probably older than many of us and had served the community. I think it was donated, or somebody lended use of that every year, and Sweet Corn Serenade always put it through its paces, and it was definitely time to replace it. And so, what other kinds of summertime events are taking place? Or, I know volunteers are also highly important to help make these things happen, and so maybe we'll want to touch a little bit on the value of that the community can help, by coming and volunteering at these things.
Yeah, certainly volunteer. So most of these events, we will put out a Sign Up Genius form, share that on our Facebook page and on our email list. So if you're not on that and want to get more involved, call the office and we can certainly get you on our email list. So if you're interested in volunteering at any of the events, please let us know. Most of the time they're, in 2-hour shifts or something similar to that. So we can work around your schedules, and we certainly can't do these events without your help. So if that's of interest to you, please give us a call, and again, or watch the Facebook page for when those links come up, and we'd love to have your help. When we're talking about summer events, it's crazy to think we are already talking about our Christmas events as well. I'll let Jess share a little bit about the Light of Christmas Parade and the theme. But one of the initiatives we're working on quite a bit is the painting with lights. That's kind of a year-long process. And some of these events and initiatives go towards the fundraising of those lights downtown, and that you see every November and December. So we're going on 5 years of having those lights displayed. So last year was 5 years. So we're taking pledges again to hopefully continue it for another 5 years. So we've sent out some letters for pledges again. So those have gone out. But a few of the initiatives that help pay for those lights that maybe you've been a part of in the past, we do a raffle every summer. And so that will take place again with the drawing taking place in November. This year we're going to do some scratch cupcakes, and so that will come available in August for pickup, I believe, at Mahaska Drug sometime in September. So watch for the marketing of that event. And then Christmas in July. Any fundraising that happens at Christmas in July or donations received at that event are going to our help painting with lights as well. So that's kind of the efforts that are going on with the lights. Like I said, we sometimes think these are just things that happen right before the event or initiative takes place, but these are happening all year round. So again, we cannot do it without your support.
I was going to say, the painting with lights, it's almost 5 years now, and we've almost become used to it. But talking to you gals earlier, you mentioned that communities from all around reach out to us to understand more about that because we've kind of led the way with that. Can you kind of tell us what communities see in that and why they think it would bring value to their communities?
Yeah, so we were talking beforehand that, as far as I know, we're the only one in Iowa yet that has the painting with lights, but every year we get phone calls from other communities that are interested. So it's always interesting to see if anyone else is going to pop up lights on their buildings. But, here in our county, it's grown so much. It started with kind of a downtown initiative, and then every year, even in those 5 years, we've added a few more. Mahaska Drug, the Herald Building, H&S Feed, the library. So, just those few additions every year, it just continues to grow. And it's really become kind of a tourism driver for our area. And so we hope that continues. I know we've taken out several ads in co-op marketing just with the state of Iowa this past year to, kind of ramp it up. And yeah, we hope people visit, maybe do an overnight stay or eating here, shopping here when they come to visit. So we hope it can continue for another 5 years because we think it's a great project and it drives dollars to our area.
All right, and with that comes that annual lighted Christmas parade that Oskaloosaans and the surrounding area looks forward to every year, and this year is the 34th, and so there's a special theme to go with that. So, can we talk about that a little bit, Jessica?
Yeah, we met, our parade committee met, shortly into 2021 to set the theme for this year. Reviewed lots of, suggestions. We always have great parade theme suggestions from the public and from committee members, and narrowed it down and voted. And this year's theme for our 34th annual Lighted Christmas Parade is Miracle on Market Street. So it kind of ties into, one of those great classic movies, Miracle on 34th Street, kind of that old-fashioned Christmas feel. We're hoping that it has a lot of, versatile inspiration opportunities for everyone creating your floats. You could be inspired by other classic Christmas movies or what maybe you interpret as a miracle. I think we all will feel like being together again in a traditional parade will feel like a miracle this coming December. So yeah, we're really excited. We have some other, we'll, continue the Young Ambassadors contest. We have a special downtown window walk in the works that will happen in December as well. So that will be new, and we'll be excited to share plans about that activity. So yeah, Miracle on Market Street. Look forward to that this December.
And if the COVID continues hopefully it'll be a little more traditional than how it was last year. And I know that folks last year it was a challenge because it was just such an overwhelming response that you guys stayed open in that parade an extra hour, and that was great that you guys were able to maneuver on your feet in such a way. But yeah, hopefully maybe a little more traditional this year.
Yeah, we're planning on it. I mean, we gave it a go. We tried to do it. We pulled it off. It did happen. We just were not expecting to. We were one of the only places doing anything. So we drew people from all over, not only all over town, but from other counties and around Iowa, because that was something that they could safely drive through and then enjoy. So yeah, it was different. We were so grateful for the support from our volunteers and our local law enforcement, our parade participants for being there with us and sticking around so that every car that was in line, we could get them through.
Well, and the question has come in from Pam Blomgren, and she's curious about, with the return of in-person events, will there be mitigation efforts, in place to, in regards to the current pandemic?
Yeah, I mean, throughout all of our events last year, whether we canceled them or modified them, we worked closely with our public health and emergency services and law enforcement to, sometimes we had a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C, and also just following the big CDC guidelines. So Oskaloosa Main Street, we're still following whatever those guidelines will be. So yes, it is possible that there will still be social distancing and hand sanitizing and an element of encouraging or expecting people to wear masks, depending on where we are with public health at that time. So stay tuned. We just appreciate the public's support and patience as we try to put these events on in a safe way for the community. It feels like it's improving with each day that passes, and we feel optimistic. But yeah, it won't, there could still be some, element of public safety measures that we'll be asking you to follow.
Well, I'm going to shift gears on you gals for a minute because we've had a couple of questions about the old post office and the work that's going on there one, can you update us? And two, maybe help us understand the chamber's involvement and the community's involvement in helping that project move forward.
We don't have a lot of extra details to share at this time, but the post office is being converted into the old post office is being converted into a like fine dining restaurant. There's going to be like a casual pub type tasting room, just a nice place for people to go and dine and have a craft beer or cocktail. So the post office is in the Main Street district, and we look forward to working with them as the renovation is underway and when it's completed to promote that new addition to our downtown and our county for dining. We're really excited that it's right there on a main strip that runs through town, and to see one of our historic buildings being preserved and turned into something that the community can enjoy for years to come. We're really excited about it, and as we have more news, we will certainly be sharing it.
Do we have a goal date, or has the pandemic kind of played a factor in some of that, maybe?
I don't know a goal date in mind for that, so we'll keep you updated on what we know, but there's certainly a lot of everything has been affected by the pandemic, from construction timelines to people being able to do things in person. So I'm sure that's been affected as well.
Well, I'm out of questions right now myself, and we've covered quite a few of the downtown events. I can't remember that. I mean, there's plenty of other events that are coming on that you folks at the chamber, maybe you're not yourself sponsoring, but you're helping lend your support. And is there any of those coming up that I know we touched on Ladies' Night, I think, coming out, and some other things. Unless there's something else that we might have, we can probably start working on wrapping this up if you have any closing thoughts.
Well, just a few other events that I know of. Barbecue for Badges, of course. Wendell Campbell and Corey Wright are putting that one on. And then Rollin' Oldies also usually takes place the end of July.
And also, we have several things going on in the community the same day as Art on the Square. Stephen Memorial Animal Shelter is going to be putting on a garden tour around town, so stay tuned on information about that. And out at Nelson Pioneer Farm, I don't want to get the title wrong, their annual festival of twisted knots, loops, and other twisted crafts. So sorry, Nelson Pioneer Farm, if we got that title wrong. But they're planning a great festival with demonstrations related to the fiber arts, and so it'll be a great week to celebrate art and creative things in the community.
All right. Well, I think we've reached an end, unless there's anything else that you fine ladies have to share. All right. Well, I would like to thank everybody for being a part of Eggs and Issues. We have one more, and it's going to be a special one next week. We're going to have Congress Lady Marinette Miller Meeks, and it'll be a special time. It'll be 8 a.m., and it'll be right here on Oskaloosa News and the Main Street Chamber's Facebook pages. They'll be live for that. So make sure to tune in, submit your questions. Andy and Allison will help send those in, as they always have been so gracious to do this year. So without any other ado, I'll say thank you for tuning in, and I'm Ken Alsop for Oskaloosa News.